Hello and welcome back to the Createch stage. My name is Alice Thwaite. I'm a tech philosopher and ethicist and the founder of Hatusia and the Echo Chamber Club. This is just such a fantastic stage. What else would you want to know about? Apart from the intersection of technology, art and culture. And as you may have noticed, we are all isolated right now, which means that a lot of photographers, art directors, magazines have had to redesign how they do photo shoots. And so this next session is going to be absolutely amazing because we're going to take a look at how Marie Claire has created virtual photo shoots. So it is my pleasure to introduce Lisa Oxenham, who I hope is going to appear on the screen at any point now. Welcome. To moderate and to share news of how you've done it. So enjoy.
Thank you so much, Alice. Thank you. So hi everyone and welcome to the virtual beauty shoot session. So we're going to go through the idea and the concept of the expertorial, which is what we've called these virtual beauty shoots, and why we believe that this is the future of video and model still content creation. So we'll go through how we produce the shoot, what is happening technically on the virtual set, the post-production, and then where we see us heading with this. So it's a really exhilarating time. We're so proud of what we've achieved so far. We're revolutionizing the beauty and publishing industry with this, and we're also shooting environmentally friendly and sustainably. We don't travel, we're not polluting. It's an intellectual and a forward-thinking approach to a traditional way of shooting. So first off, I'd love to introduce you to the team. So we'll all explain a little bit about our experience. So I'm the beauty and style director of Marie Claire, and I'm a creative director and a beauty journalist, a beauty editor. I've been working producing and art directing editorial shoots for close to 20 years. I've shot in most countries around the world on every location possible, models, celebrities, influencers. I understand the dynamics and the psychology of working on set. I've worked with the biggest names in hair and makeup, and I know how to get what we need virtually from the, visually from the assets that we're producing on set. I have expertise in brand collaboration and creating meaningful print and digital partnerships. And as a high-profile beauty journalist, beauty editor, I know what our audience want to see and how they want to feel when they see these images, and also how they now want to engage and interact with us digitally. So over to you, Ben.
Hi guys, I'm Benjamin. Thanks, Lisa, for having me here. Thanks to the forum, which is amazing that we can actually speak here. I'm basically a beauty fashion photographer with a similar experience as Lisa. So I was classically trained on film. So I've seen it literally everything from film to the transition to digital, basically. And now we're all going back to film to shoot our personal projects. But now in the lockdown, we have this pretty cool and amazing opportunity to literally look into the future. So what can we do? How can we actually bring it forward? But a lot more to that in a minute. Nick, I want to introduce you as one of the partners I immediately thought about with this project, because also we have been working on quite a few projects. So over to you.
Yeah, thanks, mate. So I came on board. Ben contacted me after he had this amazing idea. My background is that I'm a director and an editor of moving image. So I started out in long form documentary work, and then with Sky Arts and people, and then I moved across to doing a lot of online content with magazines. And actually that's how I met Ben and Lisa, was by doing a lot of content, a lot of advertorial and editorial content for Marie Claire. And then from there, that was kind of over the last 15 years now, which seems crazy, but yeah, we've all been working together a long time. And then I moved into directing commercials, TV commercials, and a lot of online commercials and advertorials. And yeah, that's then obviously everything got locked down and we had to work out what we were going to do. And Ben had this great idea.
Yeah, so we have been working together probably as a team for about 15 years. And like Nick said, and we have a very dynamic, flexible and adaptable working relationship. So, and I think that's key to this idea. So I believe as well that being forced into working remotely is actually a positive thing, because we've speeded up what's inevitably going to happen. And we had to really dive into this digital arena and produce imagery quickly and professionally. And it's a really exciting evolution for editorial photography and audience engagement. So at the start of lockdown, we had to create this content faster than ever. Everybody's really focusing on social media. And so then, yeah, Ben came to me with this incredible virtual beauty shoot idea. So Ben, do you want to talk through your initial thinking behind it?
Absolutely. So basically, I was hiding in the mountains in Austria. So I was sitting in total isolation. And the only thing I could think about is I wanted to shoot and I wanted to work. And there's no point of not doing anything. So I had this humble idea of sort of shooting virtually. But straight from the beginning, I didn't want to just shoot a model via Zoom or any other sort of chat software. I really wanted to do a shoot like we always did, like bringing a team together, bringing experts together, bringing people with an opinion together, and sort of creating absolutely beautiful work with a mission. So the first call I made was to Lisa, because I knew Marie Claire was a fantastic platform and they would believe in such an idea. And Lisa is a person who understands the future. So basically, second call was Nick, because you need an expert, especially when it comes to all these masterclasses and video content. And I'm a photographer, and I believe in a strict divide in sort of professionals. And Nick is an amazing partner because he understands me, he understands sort of editorial and bringing together content. And basically, that's how the idea was born.
Mm-hmm. So this is definitely just one way of shooting in the future. We're not saying that we replace our traditional ways of shooting, because sometimes we still need to work in a much more professional way, or if there's a high art makeup look or a hair look that we really need people on set for, then they will need to do that. But we're saying that this is just one way of working that's very interesting. And Ben, do you want to explain the concept of the expertorial?
Absolutely. So basically, starting from this simple idea, we had our first shoot and it came out really, really beautifully and it worked, which was surprising to a certain point, but not so surprising if you consider all the expertise that was thrown into the project. So obviously what we started doing, we thought about, hey, how can we take it further and how can we take it even further? So the next one was even smoother. It was really well produced. You will see it because it's already online. But we are already thinking ahead of time. So what's going to be the next one? The next one is going to be live. So what we're going to do, we're going to introduce the whole shoot live with a user interface experience. So people can actually join in, they can ask questions, they can watch all of us doing it and talking to each other and sort of creating this beautiful world. And even a step 3 is in consideration, because we're here on a forum that talks about artificial intelligence. So why not introduce that into future shoots? How can we sort of integrate it? How can we even push it further and further and further? And this is kind of the most beautiful experience I've had for a very long time, because it's kind of, you're working on the future and working on new concepts. And again, I can't stress it enough, we are bringing a team together. It's not single people thinking individually about whatever could be done. It's us together.
Yeah, so it's very much of a team of experts, high-profile experts working as a team together, directing a model influencer, and that's where we all come together in sort of a professional environment, and that's what makes it an expertorial. So we're going to show you now an overview video of our first virtual beauty shoot that Nick created.
Hey guys!
Hey.
Hi! So we are filming our first ever virtual beauty shoot for Marie Claire. Ben came to me with a genius idea. We're all in lockdown. What are we going to do? So we're going to get creative. So we've got a model, a makeup artist and a hairstylist, and we're all going to be directing the model virtually to come up with the best beauty looks for spring. And we're so excited about it.
Okay, so we're all really proud of putting this together, and the images in the masterclasses look super professional already. But as Ben said, the more we're going, the slicker and slicker we're getting every single time. So now we're going to show you the presentation. So one of our biggest objectives with this project was being social first and delivering a 360 of assets. So that means beautiful aspirational shoots for online with moving imagery, masterclasses and demonstrations, videos chatting to cameras, bringing it all to life, and then also seeing behind the scenes. So you're seeing professionals working behind the scenes. And this is the formula that really makes it essential to editorial content. So it's entertaining, it's inspirational, and it's educational. So in terms of the production process, it's like a regular shoot. It's a hell of a lot to organise and produce, but the turnaround time is a lot quicker. So we're looking at the booking to setting live, we're looking at around 7 days. And because of social media, this content has to be faster and faster, and we're seeing it get faster and faster every single week. So we need that constant flow of content creation, and this is a faster and much more efficient and cost-effective way of achieving that. So the good news is there's a reduction in the production spend because we're not paying for things like catering, travel, lights, studio. So really, we're looking, this is a much leaner and greener way of working. And also it's a lot more appropriate to shoot like this for the social world. So Ben, you've shot big studio shoots for social before. Can you tell us why this doesn't necessarily work now?
Absolutely. So basically, we all started out working on concepts that were based on, we need to create X amount of images for a magazine, for an advertising campaign, etc., etc. So a lot of money was spent to create one image, 8 images, 10 images. If you have the same idea and the same concept and want to produce multi-platform content for social media, it doesn't work anymore. We all need multiple sort of outcomes like still images, we need moving images, we need fun elements like GIFs, we need tutorials, we need masterclasses, we need ideally interaction, because that's, in the word social, it's a social medium. So there's no point of sort of excluding the audience anymore. So basically what we need to do is we have to find forms of shooting everything together, and it looks like being done in one production. So it's not sort of a juxtaposition of various elements, it's literally one mode. And that's the important thing, and that was always and has always been the issue basically in the past. So now with this new concept, we can do everything in one. It's fun, it's great, and it works actually.
Yeah. So what we start off with then, if you see on the presentation, the mood board. So we start off with the mood board, and we then brief the team. And the mood board is just to give a rough direction of how we want the look and feel to be. It might be representing the light, or it might be visualizing a mood. It's not about a replication, but it's more about seeing the mood. And then we invite talent to collaborate. So we speak to all of our talent and model agencies around the world. And at the moment, we're trying for influencer models who have a Marie Claire DNA. Now, this is really important. This is a really big movement at the moment. We're helping to empower and amplify a really strong voice. So we were inviting a person to join us who will be talking about an issue that really needs to be addressed. And so we can potentially shoot anyone for this project. And that's the beauty of this concept. It's completely limitless. So at the moment, in the next week, we're shooting one model in a studio flat in New York. And so Ben, you've got a slide there of her home. So if you can talk to us about the video call that you made to the model before the shoot.
Absolutely. There was also a question from the audience asking if we need to retrain the models, which links in here quite nicely. We don't actually. And the beauty is we deliberately don't want to train the models because we want to have their characters and their abilities. And that's, again, linking back to what we said earlier about expertorials. Experts, us, basically, we are guiding a normal person, a normal talent, so no one who is trained in photography, hair, makeup specifically, to do these looks on themselves and to shoot themselves. And that's one of the core messages. We empower them, we give them sort of part of the creative process. So coming back to Ellie Tate Cutter, who is our next model, who is an amazing girl. She's working a lot. She's got a very sort of outspoken way. She's talking about body and all really, really important issues. She's got this beautiful flat in Brooklyn. She sent us pictures. We had a phone chat. We had a video chat. So now what we're doing, we're deciding what locations we're going to use. Is it the roof terrace? Are we using a simple wall? Are we going into a park where we can see New York skyline? So it's kind of a location recce, like in the good old days, without going there, which is beautiful because we don't need to get on a plane. So she is helping us, and she is also pre-selecting for us. She's helping us. She is sort of influencing the whole shoot, which is, again, a very beautiful aspect of it.
And also we do have a footage handbook actually that we send out. It's got tips and recommendations on how to use technology to get the best possible images. So we send that out to every model before every shoot. So the protection is really streamlined right now. And Nick, you were talking as well about getting to know the models and their environment too, and how important that is.
Yeah, this moving image kind of side of the deliverables is really interesting because it gives us an insight into their own space. Everyone's very comfortable, including all of us guys as well. We're all working remotely, so we're all in very familiar environments, and the modelers as well. And we're also including a lot behind the scenes images, as well as the final masterclasses, and obviously as well as Ben's beautiful stills. So you're getting a much more of a 360-degree view of everything that's happening. It's all very transparent. We're using Zoom calls at the beginning. The actual use of our Zoom calls is just for communication, but I'm still recording some of those elements and using them as part of my introduction to each masterclass, because it's quite interesting, I think, for the viewer to see that side of it, and you feel just a lot more connected to the model as a result.
Yeah. And so in terms of the shoot day then, and how we work on the day of the shoot, we set up a Zoom call. So we have an image of this, and we all sit and we're all on the screen. I introduce everybody and explain the concept, and then reiterate the theme. And then Ben, do you want to explain the formats that we're working to? Because I mean, the formats with this, we have to get a lot of different formats together.
Yeah, the problem nowadays is that social media is so versatile. So basically, you've got everything from the webpage to Instagram to Snapchat to Facebook to all of those. Plus, we still have print or not. And basically, we need to have total flexibility, which again needs or requires basic flexibility from our side. So we have to keep all of that in the back of our head when we start producing, when we do all of that. And this is, in my opinion, also where experts are needed, because without our experience, you wouldn't be able to produce an image that you can use in a very, very narrow strip on top of a web page, for example, as well as on Snapchat, as well as on Instagram stories. And it's the same requirement for stills, for video, for all these fun GIFs, etc., etc. So we have to keep all of that in mind. We have to work with scripts and tick lists and everything in order to be able to create such a massive amount of content within a day, but it works.
Yeah. So in terms of the masterclasses, I think they're probably one of the main aspects of this, because you're saying the product being explained how to be used on the model, and sometimes it's actually being used, the product's being used on the makeup artist at the same time, and the model is actually copying her. Nick, can you talk about the setup of the makeup area first of all, please, because that is really important.
Yeah, so like Ben said, when we're getting shown around the space, the available space that the model has, we are going into bathrooms. There we go, that's perfect timing. And we're asking the model to just show us around the different kind of areas that we have natural light being kind of flooding into the room, or we can set up ring lights. We're now at the point with the process, as we refine and we continue to move forward. We're now bringing in an assistant, a local assistant, to now assist the model and obviously help with assistance of lighting, camera operation, as well as the actual makeup items as well. And then we're just asking the model to do things like engage with the camera, make eye contact with the camera. I'm having to direct through that, label up the steps, and it's broken down in quite a precise format now, obviously, as well as the Zoom call that's continuing to happen. So all the experts are on that Zoom call and they're all feeding information into her.
Yes. And then what about the script, Nick, as well? The script is really key, isn't it, for the masterclass, because we have to be super prepared because we don't have that long.
Sorry, Lisa. We've got a fantastic assistant in Sarah who provides me with a really comprehensive document, which is labeling the product, the actual steps as they proceed, and the breakdown of the information per product that I will then insert into the edit. And that becomes a huge part of it, because then each brand is feeding me images of the product that I put up next to the actual visual of the model applying. So we've got the process happening at the same time, as well as obviously the final shots of her as well.
Yeah. So I'm overseeing the whole thing and directing the makeup artists, the hairstylists, you guys. And then once that's finished at that stage, then we move the model onto the set. So Ben, do you want to just talk through the set? I know we've spoken a little bit about it already, but
try to make it short. Basically, in the location recce process, so before the actual shoot day, we would have already selected all the spots we want to shoot at, and then basically it's about directing the model and her potential assistant. And the fun thing is we had quite a bit of experience. On the first shoot, we didn't have an assistant. It was just Charlie's mom basically helping a little bit, which was great. On the second one, we had an assistant. And on the third one, we had kind of a friend helping. So we had all the experience, and it's about little nudges. It's sort of getting the light right, and it's also about getting sort of the content right, because we're talking about makeup. We're talking about giving expertise and an information to the audience. So basically, when Lisa wants to have glossy lips, we need to show glossy lips. So it's about sort of directing the models or the talent basically in a way so we can have beautiful images. We are creative, but at the same time, we are delivering sort of a message.
Yeah.
And I think this is the main content of our job, basically, to get this, to get the job done, basically.
Yeah. So then the model sends us all of the images and the footage, and we have the text. It's relatively straightforward. Now, then we put it live online and on social, and make sure that the whole team's synced up. Then, can you guys talk a little bit about how you see the future of the virtual beauty shoot?
Go for it, Ben.
Nick, after you.
So I, as far as from where I'm coming at it from, I'm streamlining. I've kind of created templates now within the edits. So I'm moving forward in a kind of workflow way. So I'm still trying to kind of get everything as slimline and fat-free as possible with regards to the process, the work process, so that it works really fluidly and we can get everything moving very, very quickly. And obviously, that works very well with all the models being in different countries, and we're trying to kind of get the actual data wrangling down as well. As far as the actual concept moving forward, I think Ben's better suited to talk about that than I am, but there's a lot of exciting, like Lisa said, it's limitless. The possibilities with this format are pretty limitless, and we can work with whoever we want, really. And it's just about a matter of inviting these people to kind of join our team and come and work with us. And Ben, I know you've got grand plans.
I think, honestly, it's all about getting the audience in. We need to step out of our comfort zone and do something completely new and creative. And I'm really, really excited to be working on more and more ideas and concepts and have partners like you guys in order to actually put them into action.
Mm-hmm. So I've been really excited by this, and actually I'm really surprised at seeing the same level of solidarity on the shoots as we'd normally see. So there's still a sense of humour, there's a lot of bonding, we're giving each other a virtual hug at the end. So we're almost marrying, I feel like, artificial intelligence with human interaction. And you can see from the shoots that to be a success with the images, we have to bounce ideas off each other, sometimes contradict ideas. And that will then lead to something amazing. So it goes back to that sort of very human level. And I sort of see that the last couple of years, this type of content creation has been quite confused. So I'm really excited to sort of change that current system. And we're reacting really, really quickly to this. And the energy and the good ideas are really appreciated at the moment. And actually, it's great that we have Marie Claire as such a huge platform to give this idea a chance and to really run with it and experiment with it. So we've seen the success already, and the virtual beauty shoot is really taking off. So yeah, thank you so much everybody for watching and listening. If you have any questions, please send them over.
Want access to more CogX videos? Subscribe now for free at CogX.co.